In Robbins chapter 13, she talks about how to apply color to backgrounds and foregrounds with CSS. And that's what we're going to concentrate on in this video. Now, I've set up a really simple HTML page already that actually contains 5 separate divs, so 5 div elements. And I'll show that to you here. Each div has a paragraph inside it, and the paragraph simply says this is the first one, the second one, the third one. And another aspect of these divs is each one has a different class. And while we haven't really talked about CSS classes and IDs yet, this is an easy way to show you how we can apply different style information to different divs, but we can also apply some style information to every div on the page. Now, right now, our HTML document does not have any styles attached. I already wrote the styles in a plain text document called main.css, and I saved it in my styles folder. This is exactly what we did in the previous video, but I've got some slightly different styles. So I have a background color of white, and I will talk about these hexadecimal codes and why sometimes they're letters, sometimes they're numbers, sometimes there are 3, sometimes there are 6. All right. I've also put on a font family and a font size just to make things look a little nicer. And for every div on the page, we're going to see the same width, 300 pixels. We're going to see the same height, 80 pixels. We're going to see a thin border, 1 pixel wide, around each div to differentiate them, to separate them. And we've got a little margin on the bottom so that they're not smack up against each other. So this is already saved, and now I'm going to attach this style sheet to my HTML document. So this is the same as what we saw before. You have to add a link element. You do not use the @import tags that are discussed in Robbins. No one uses them anymore. So we're going to link, and the rel attribute and the href attribute, they don't have to be in any particular order. One can come first, the other one can come first, but rel must contain the word style sheet, exactly as you see it here. Href is what connects our document, our CSS styles, so it's in the styles folder, styles / and the name of the file is main.css, and so when I save this, these styles will be attached, and when I reload, we'll see them. Okay, so far, no colors except the background color of white. You may wonder, why did I make it white? Isn't it always white? Not always. Some people have changed their default background color in their browser. Not many, but they could. So if you want to ensure a white background for the body, you better specify it. So the next thing I want to do is apply 5 different colors to my 5 different divs. If you watched the video about making a palette with the Adobe Color site, you would have seen me make this pretty simple little document with 5 different hexadecimal codes in it for 5 different shades of blue. And I'm going to copy those 5 lines and just take them into my other document, my CSS file, and I'm going to paste them. Now this is not CSS yet, but I'm going to style each of these so that each of my divs will be a different color. So I know that every color has to start with a hashtag, sometimes called an octothorpe. If you don't have this, it won't work. And this is a common typo. Sometimes your color didn't show up. Go back to your text file and check, did you remember to put the hash in front of it? Now, do I have to delete these words? I don't have to delete them, but I can't just leave them. So I'm going to actually make them all CSS comments. And I'm going to copy and paste that. Copy, paste, 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 and then I have to close that comment tag. And I will copy that and paste, 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 paste. Now, how am I going to apply 5 colors to 5 divs? What differentiates the divs from one another? They're all called divs. What is the difference? The difference is class. So my first div has the class with the word 1. My second div has the class with the word 2, and so on. And I can see that I was consistent. 3, 4, 5. So these are the names of my classes. So how would I write a style rule for a class? For a class, it needs to start with a dot and then the name of the class. And then the curly braces, just like you're used to. And indent. And what is going to go in here? If I want the background color to be a certain color, you notice Robbins uses background color like this. A lot of people do that, but it's not actually necessary, so why not be short and just say background? And then I'm going to copy my first line. Actually, I'm going to cut it, right? I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to paste it right there. And what am I missing? I'm missing something very important. I am missing the semicolon. So let's add that to all of these so that I don't mess that up. All right. And let's see. So I have other classes. I have 2, I have 3, I have 4, and I have 5. Those are my classes. Whoops. And I am gonna type my curly braces like this. Actually, let me do some copying and pasting to make life easy. Background, and I'm gonna copy and paste, paste, paste. And then I'm gonna grab these and cut and paste. Cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, and paste. Clean up my empty lines at the end. So I now have 5 classes, each with a different background color. So I will save and I will reload. So the colors have been applied to the divs using classes. Now we're going to use these divs and the text inside them to talk about not only applying a foreground color or a text color, but also looking at contrast. So the next video is going to be about foreground colors, which you can also think of as the text color, and the link colors, which are tricky because there are 5 different pseudo classes that we use to determine the colors of the link text in our documents. So that'll be a separate video.